Business people and psychologists have developed useful frameworks that describe the main ways that people lead. When you understand these frameworks, you can develop your own approach to leadership and, as a result, become a more effective leader. There are traditional approaches and styles of leadership. Let's take a look at some. Psychologist Kurt Lewin developed his framework in the 1930s. It provided the foundation of many of the approaches that followed afterwards. He argued that there are three major styles of leadership. 1. Autocratic leaders. These make decisions without consulting their team members. 2. Democratic leaders. These include team members in the decision-making process. 3. Laissez-faire. These leaders give their team members a lot of freedom in how they do their work and how they set their deadlines. They mostly provide support. The Blake-Mouton managerial grid highlights that the most appropriate style to lead should be based on your concern for people or your concern for production and tasks. The path goal theory states that the best leadership approach should be based on people's needs, the task they're doing, and the environment that they're working in. However, in this video we will discuss more modern styles of leadership. Among these we can find 1. Charismatic leadership. 2. Transformational leadership. 3. Visionary leadership. 4. Transactional leadership. 5. Servant leadership. First, let's talk about charismatic leadership. Many of history's most effective leaders are labeled charismatic. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Winston Churchill, Hitler, Fidel Castro, and many others.
Charismatic leadership is leading by dint of personality and charm instead of relying on any external power or authority.
Charismatic leaders seek to fulfill organizational goals by instilling devotion. Charismatic leaders are essentially very skilled communicators. Individuals who are both verbally eloquent but also able to communicate to followers on a deep emotional level. They are able to articulate a compelling or captivating vision and are able to arouse strong emotions in followers.
Charisma is really a process, an interaction between the qualities of a charismatic leader, the followers, and their needs and identifications with the leader. When it comes to charismatic qualities of leaders, the emphasis is on how they communicate to followers and whether they are able to gain followers' trust, influence, and persuade them to follow.
Next up, we have transformational and visionary leadership. Let's start with transformational leadership. Similar to charismatic leadership, this type focuses a lot on inspiring people to follow and achieve different goals or changes in an organization. Transformational leaders excel at giving out speeches, and they use their great communication skills to create a sense of commitment in their followers, the people working for the company. They first have to internalize the company's vision, and then sell this goal to all employees in a way that they will take the company's values as their own. This means that everyone will work to achieve the company's vision instead of pursuing their own personal interests. They do not only lead others and tell them what to do, they also do part of the job everyone else does. And they do it in a very energetic, enthusiastic, and passionate way to try to inspire others to work in the same fashion. The main differences there are between transformational leadership and charismatic leadership is the level of legitimate power they have. This means the job position they hold. If someone is given a lot of responsibilities and has certain authority over other people, plus is given the power to make changes and take important decisions within the company, but still gains the trust of every employee working at his or her disposal while doing this, is a transformational leader. While a charismatic leader has most of these qualities, they do not necessarily have legitimate power. This means that they can be employees working at entry-level positions or any other job within the company. The next one is visionary leadership. This type of leadership is similar to transformational leadership in that they also focus a lot on the people. However, they do not try to inspire the employees to achieve the company's ultimate organizational goal, but rather focus on specific short to medium term objectives. Another difference is that they do not try only to get the employees to strive for the company's vision, but they also boost the employees' self-confidence and inspire them to give their best and become better persons. They give a lot of importance to personal and group interests, not only the company's. Some other characteristics of visionary leadership are the following. As soon as visionary leaders see something is going on or the business environment is changing, they anticipate this change and start working proactively, rather than wait for the moment they have to make changes like in the traditional leadership style. One could say that this type of leaders are ahead of the curve with their proactive work style, which will end up saving a lot of money for the company. Therefore, the company will be heading in the right direction. They are constantly making changes and corrections, and whenever they see a problem with someone or something affecting the employees, they will approach them and talk to them about the problem, radiating a lot of good energy and showing a trustworthy personality. They also focus on developing team spirit and showing to have great morality and values.
Now we have transactional leadership, or also known as management leadership. This type of leader usually focuses on results, guiding himself by the structure of the organization and the company's way to reward and penalize its employees depending if the employee meets or not the corporation standard. These leaders usually have a type of formal authority or a position or responsibility within the company. This leader is held responsible for foreseeing and providing solutions to each situation that may occur. The leader is in charge of maintaining order and routine, and can be achievable by managing performance as a group or performance of each individual. Now, let's have an example. Bill Gates was born in 1955 in Seattle. In his early teens, he met Paul Allen at the Lakeside School, where they both developed computer programs as a hobby. When Gates went to Harvard, Allen went to work as a programmer for Honeywell in Boston. Around 1975, they started Microsoft together, and by 1978, the company had grossed $2.5 million. When Gates was 23, around 1985, Microsoft launched Windows. Bill Gates is now one of the richest people around the world. And as a transactional leader, he used to visit new product teams and ask difficult questions until he was satisfied that the teams were on track and understood the goal. Now we have servant leadership. This type of leader focuses on serving others, or even helping them. Servant leadership begins with a vision for providing a resource such as employment, public service, or even education. It requires leaders to be optimistic and empathic for people in many types of situations. Servant leaders identify complex problems and are able to implement workable solutions in a timely fashion by planning ahead. It could go all the way from initial project planning stages to final implementation. Servant leaders think about how they can best serve their community. The objective of serving others encapsulates every facet of their activities, from establishing healthy communities to building prosperous businesses and worthwhile public entities. As an example, I gather an example of Reverend Donald K. Macho. If you guys don't know, Mr. Macho was a Rear Admiral in Chief of Chaplains in the U.S. Navy. He recalled several mentors who taught him the importance of building character through self-improvement while recognizing the diverse cultures and faith of everyone. He said, quote, "It is clear to me that essential elements of leadership that distinguish successful and effective chaplains." Quote. He also said, "Above all, a chaplain must have a servant heart. Others have to come first to be a good leader. You need to be a good servant in order to follow first.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.